Look at Una Emery. He's not caught up for the top jobs, but for the mid-table jobs, he's fantastic. And that is cool. Knowing where you're good at solves half of the problem. Now, like I said, let me reiterate it. I have no agenda against Potter. I'm just giving my opinion based on what I've seen and the empirical evidence before us. Potter is not the right fit for Chelsea. Chelsea is a different beast. Chelsea are used to winning, but I think for the last 20 years, they used to win. They've won Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup. They've won, what's it called? The league. Now, for the last few years, they've been struggling, even though it's a new dispensation. Abramovich era is gone. We have Ted Boley, who seems to be obsessed with getting rival players from players linked to rival, who is obsessed, who seems to be playing player manager with his team. Like, can you tell me Potter has the nerve or the temerity to stand up to Todd and say, no, we're going to get certain players. You don't need to go and buy players for me. Even though you want to buy players for the club, let us liaise together. I give you my input. The director of football give his input. Then you put good input. Then we can actually find a middle ground. But it looks like Todd Bowley just goes on the run. Wow. It looks like Chelsea officially entering their banter era. Like, I have no agenda against Chelsea or Potter based on what we can see empirically. It's been a very turbulent times at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. The results are wretched. The performances are diabolical. The manager looks lost, looks clueless. Let's speak on Potter. I have no agenda against Potter, even though somebody came into my comment section and called me an idiot for my opinion. I'm not going to go back and forth. That's your opinion. I'm not an idiot. I'm speaking based on the evidences provided for Potter. Let me look at this. Let's look at this, some of this records so I can back up my claim. 0 wins in 2023, 0 trophies, 7 losses in 9 games. The performances we can all see the performances are not pleasing Chelsea fans. Some of them online are very out about saying Potter is out of his depth, which is not far from me. Regarding Chelsea, I will say that because now let's look at team selection. For me, the selection sometimes I'll be very, 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 very. I'm trying to look for the word so I won't be disrespectful to Potter. Very abysmal to say the least. The kind of players he has given too many chances and they continually fail. Like Koulibaly, in my opinion, has not been as good as we're thinking he's going to be. I said it when it was bought that he's 4 years late to come to the English Premiership. The English Premiership is quicker. It's faster than the Italian Serie A. The English Premiership has more intensity than the Italian Serie A. So I was expecting him to struggle. You can see he's struggling. Like, Koulibaly is not a bad defender. Maybe in France, maybe in Spain. But in England, you have to be very athletic and quick in England. Your reflexes, your agility has to be on point. Now, if you are 2 minutes, 2 seconds late, you are done out here. Like, Potter, I respect him. I respect what he did at Osterson, what he did at Brighton. Chelsea is a peculiar club. Chelsea is a different beast. So, for me, he's not a right fit for Chelsea. Not because I have an agenda against him, but we can see. I remember I was asked during the pre-match conference before this 4-0 loss to Man City about why he doesn't express his frustrations or anger. And it was like he knows how to mask it, he knows how to mask his emotions. I don't believe that nonsense. If you believe that, I think you're an idiot. Yes, I'm saying it. Because human beings naturally go back to show their personality or who they are under duress, under frustration. You will see them sometimes get along. Arteta, as a case in point, you see how animated he is with the referee, with the officiating sometimes, with the players. We see that with Klopp, we see that with Pep. But with Potter, it's just calm. Like nothing phases him. He's just cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't show any frustrations. He doesn't show any emotion on the touchline. So you can't tell me you move from that to behind closed doors, then you get very frustrated and angry. I don't believe that. I think, nah. And there's nothing bad about that. That's who he is, and we have to respect it. But when it comes to these top jobs, I don't think Potter is cut out for the top 6 jobs in England or any top club around the world. I don't think so. He's a decent manager that will do well at mid-table. Like I said, look at Una Emery. He's not cut out for the top jobs, but for the mid-table jobs, he's fantastic. And that is cool. Knowing where you're good at solves half of the problem. Now, like I said, let me reiterate it. I have no agenda against Potter. I'm just giving my opinion based on what I've seen and the empirical evidence before us. Potter is not the right fit for Chelsea. Chelsea is a different beast. Chelsea are used to winning, but I think for the last 20 years, they used to win. They've won Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup. They've won, what's it called? The league. Now, for the last few years, they've been struggling, even though it's a new dispensation. Abramovich era is gone. We have Ted Boley, who seems to be obsessed with getting rival players from players linked to rival, who is obsessed, who seems to be playing player manager with his team. Like, can you tell me Potter has the nerve or the temerity to stand up to Todd and say, no, we're going to get certain players. You don't need to go and buy players for me. Even though you want to buy players for the club, let us liaise together. I give you my input. The director of football gives his input. Then you put good input. Then we can actually find a middle ground. But it looks like Todd Bowley just goes on the rampage on buying players for the team that might not even fit. All this fake optimism being shared by Chelsea fans that the future is bright because they are buying certain young players. It is not guaranteed. Like, let's stop this fake optimism. Let's look at the elephant in the room right now. Chelsea are struggling badly. They're struggling badly. And it doesn't look like this form is going to ease off anytime soon. As much as I would love to give for Potter time, it's not looking like he can turn this around. Stop the Arteta comparison. The paradigm is different. Arteta came to a wretched situation and he won an FA Cup. Potter is out of the FA Cup. Is out of the Carling Cup. He's not going to win the league. I don't think he's going to win the Champions League. If it happens by miracle, kudos to him. I don't think he can win it. He's not going to win the league, but they're still in the Champions League. Let's see how far he can carry Chelsea in the Champions League. So the comparison is flawed. And secondly, Arteta has input in players that are coming to Arsenal. Do you think Potter has input in the players that are being bought by Chelsea? I don't think so. The players at Chelsea, I don't see them respecting Potter. Now, when Arteta came into Arsenal, those players are not willing to roll their sleeves and play for him. He actually put them on the side. Ozil was taken out of the team. Socrates was taken out of the team. Kolasinac was used sparingly. But Chelsea is part of doing. I understand their injuries, but Chelsea still has a team that can still actually fight as warriors for the manager. But it looks like Potter don't have no lieutenants that are actually fighting for him. He's too much of a Mr. Nice guy. It's too nice. I'm not saying be harsh on your player, but it looks like the players are taking a mickey because their manager is too nice. Look at ZH. He put in a shift at the World Cup. Is he putting the same shift at Chelsea? Absolutely no. Kai Havertz is always thinking on the gaff. Has he improved? Nothing is improving. I get it, they have a few injuries, but they still have enough decent players to actually do better than what they are doing at the moment. Let's call it a spade. Chelsea are struggling. As in, this is a new banter era for Chelsea. A lot of Chelsea fans, sadly, this is your reality and you have to deal with it. I want to reiterate, I have no personal agenda against Potter. I just think he cannot take on this job. I think Potter is a manager that can do well in a mid-table team. But the top 4, top 16, I don't think he's called out for that. You can disagree with me respectfully. We don't need to call each other idiots on the comment section. He's not needed. If you like my content, do me a favor by subscribing to the channel. Make sure you stick a like on the video. Very, very important for the channel and the algorithm at the same time. And make sure notification bells are turned on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.